I'm Marie Hohtanz, and this is Weekend. Shakespeare wrote that all the world's a stage. Well, today Weekend visits a Calgary stage at a nightclub with a difference. Remember Tab Hunter? Doug Llewellyn talks with him about his movie career, and we find out what it's like to be a morning radio personality in Calgary. James Barber and Dr. Challis will join us, but right now it's showtime at Studio One.
On the 8th Avenue Mall in Calgary, across from the Four Seasons Hotel, a bright canopy beckons. Come on upstairs to Calgary's new entertaining amateur showcase, the Studio One nightclub.
A lot of nights we could put on probably 25 different entertainers. The way it operates, you see, it's under, it's like a contest basis, where we hand out ballot sheets to the customers, and the customers in turn will rate the different entertainers on a 1 to 10 basis. And towards the end of the evening, we tabulate all the score, and the winner, well, actually, he wins $50 for it. It's not that much money, but the thing is, it creates a totally different atmosphere and so on. And it's quite unique in Calgary.
Drove into town in a blizzard of snow. How I wish I was in Goose Bay now. I applied for a job everywhere that I went, but the oil dried up and the money was spent. God damn them all. I was told to find a job for $20 an hour. I'd pay no bills, catch no cold. Now a bit stout man in a Calgary bar, the last where I'll find these earned
Hey man, now don't you bring the rain.
I never had so much time my whole life before.
This place has really helped me out a lot.
This is
coming up here because the people are so warm.
You
know, they receive you really well. I do a lot of original music. I would play mostly original, but tonight I wanted to play the songs that other people had heard of.
Now don't hang on. Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. This slips away, and our money won't another minute by. Dust away.
We've had several songwriters write songs about Studio One, which is, you know, quite exciting to me, you know, because of the concept of it. And hopefully, someday, somebody that maybe initially started off at Studio One might make it real big, you know.
Fame, like success, is a journey, and Calgary's Studio One Uptown is an enjoyable part of the trip for performers and audiences alike.
Did you catch that song about Calgary and Mayor Klein? Never know, it just could be a hit. Stop by Studio One on the 8th Avenue Mall some night. It's a great place to see local talent. And speaking of talent, James Barber has a cool, sweet treat for us. And Weekend goes easy riding with motorbikes that Peter Fonda would envy. Weekend returns after this. And now for something completely different, avocado ice cream. I know it sounds terrible, but Weekend's favorite chef insists it's the perfect dessert. Here's James Barber with his gourmet version of the letter I, as in I love ice cream.
I is for ice cream. Now what I'm doing is mashing up a ripe avocado with the juice of half a lemon. I just started to do it before you guys got here because I thought we'd get on and do this. It's a dessert, it's quite wonderful, and most people spend their lives worrying about what to give them for dessert. Well, just try this. We have one avocado, the juice of half a lemon, teaspoonful of sugar. You can put brown sugar in, white sugar, honey, whatever you like. And this is the secret. This comes from Brazil. Half a teaspoonful of instant coffee. Now, in Brazil, they make this very, very special dessert because they've got all these avocados hanging around. And it looks weird. That's just fine. Just let it look weird and mash it all up together. And then take yourself an equal part of plain old vanilla ice cream and just mix it in there. Just mash it all together, the whole lot. Now, if you want to do this for dessert, if you want to do this for a sort of a party, what you do is do it just before the people get there. Mash it all up, because it all goes a lovely color. Look, it's starting to go a lime green color now, see? All the brown disappears. And you just do that. You put it in a couple of little pretty glasses, and you shove it in the freezer, and you say, there you are, and it turns into a mousse. But you can eat it the way it is, and it's quite wonderful. Now, that's one thing you can do with ice cream. Another thing you can do with ice cream is to get a good big spoonful and put it in a glass like this. Now, this is really a fantastic thing to do. You get a little sprinkle of instant coffee and put it on the top of that one, and a little sprinkle of cocoa powder and put that on the top. And then you just get a little booze. You can put rye on it, or you can put rum on it. You only need about a teaspoonful, and just let it go together. It makes a sauce, and it's nice, and everybody loves it. Another thing you can do, get yourself some walnuts, put them in a bag, get the bag and roll it, because that crushes the walnuts right away. Sprinkle some walnuts on top of it. This is a very Canadian dish. Put another little bit of cocoa powder on the top, a little bit of maple syrup, just a little bit, because it's Canadian, a little bit of good old rye, and there you are. You've got 1, 2, 3 different desserts, and it's really easy. Don't bother making ice creams easier. That's all I is for ice cream.
I think I'll pass on the avocado stuff. The other sounded great, though. If you'd like a recipe, send a stamped self-addressed envelope to Weekend, Box 7060, Station E, Calgary, postal code T3C3L9. Weekend went in search of two-wheeled fun and discovered some surprising facts about today's motorbike enthusiasts and today's machines.
Sophisticated, sleek, and slick. Today's motorbikes make a whole new statement about two-wheeled freedom. Once considered rough and tumble riding, these futuristic bikes express the ultimate in open-road luxury lifestyles. With today's developments, high-end bikes sport computerized controls, turbocharging, and microchip technology. And this glittering combination has attracted a whole new audience. Older, wiser, richer, and female. The best of the new bikes feature accessories galore. How about a CB radio, digital AM/FM stereo with cassette deck? Of course, you'll need a helmet with stereo earphones, and who would go without a digital clock on the dash? Equipped for maximum easy riding, these new bikes attract women buyers. Almost 18% of the new owner category. Of the 700,000 bikes in use in Canada, the newest owners are often business people, attracted by the low fuel costs, easy parking, and handy commuting features, not to mention the excitement of being associated with bikes like this. This beautiful bike is the 6-cylinder STP Special, a 328-horsepower hill climber on which Canadian John Williams mounts his hopes of winning his 4th World Championship. Powered by 100% nitro, this bike puts John at speeds over 90 miles an hour on inclines of 80 degrees. As John says, you either hang on or fall off.
I read the list of John Williams' hill climbing scars. Very long, and I'm sure very painful. Weekend wakes up with Calgary's morning radio personalities. Tab Hunter makes a comeback, and Dr. Challis reports on health right after this. Does anyone in your family suffer from heartburn? Well, I'm told it's unpleasant, painful, and the symptoms can resemble other problems. Dr. Challis explains.
Heartburn is that uncomfortable sensation of heat or burning felt behind our breastbone and sometimes in our throat. There is often a taste of food and acid in our mouth and sometimes excess saliva. Many of us experience this after a spicy meal or eating and drinking more than we should. Heartburn is caused by a regurgitation of food and acid into our lower esophagus, causing pain and burning. This is usually due to a relaxation of the muscles at the entrance to our stomach, permitting a backflow of food, or by a defect called a hiatus hernia. Often this reflux is worse at night when people are lying down in bed and eased when sitting up. People with reflux of food may complain of chest pain, burning, back pain, cough, difficulty in swallowing, and other assorted symptoms. Often people confuse the pain and discomfort of heartburn with heart pain and postpone seeking care because of fear. Many turn up at the emergency for cardiograms, which most of the time are normal. If you think you're having problems, check with your family doctor. After a history and physical exam, he may order special tests, including x-rays, to prove the diagnosis. If you are having heartburn, however, remember, watch your diet, avoid alcohol, coffee, spicy foods, and overeating. Don't eat before bed. Elevation of the bed, 6 to 8 inches on blocks, may help. Avoid stooping, tight clothing, and lose weight if necessary. Your doctor may prescribe antacids and other medications to help you. Occasionally, if severe, surgery may be indicated. Remember, if you have heartburn, a simple change in diet and physical activity may help. If not, check with your doctor for proper diagnosis and therapy. I'm Dr. Challis. If your body talks, listen.
Today's teens probably associate the name Tab with a soft drink. To an older generation, the name will recall a clean-cut movie star of the late 50s, Tab Hunter. Yet old Tab hasn't seen much of the limelight for about 20 years now. Weekend's Doug Llewellyn answers the burning question, whatever happened to Tab Hunter?
People are always going to find fault. Just do the best you can, go in that direction, and do it to the best of your abilities. If they get your message, fine. If they don't, next case, that's their problem, not yours.
This philosophy comes straight from the School of Hard Knocks. From 1954 to 1960, Tab Hunter was one of the hottest properties in Hollywood, appearing in over 40 films. He starred opposite such leading ladies as Sophia Loren in That Kind of Woman and Natalie Wood in The Girl He Left Behind. And then, just as suddenly as it started, it was over. The golden boy of the drive-ins was labeled by the press as troubled.
Then I had a lot of adverse publicity at the time, a lot. I mean, I had things like my dog beating trial. I had Confidential magazine, which was the equivalent of the Inquirer of today. You know, I mean, I had a lot of things like that that really heaped on me at the same time, too. And you know how this town gets. When they cool, they cool, they turn. And so I went I went away where the work was.
The work came making spaghetti westerns in Europe as he battled the disillusionment of a fickle American public.
We're very fickle. We're used to a new car every other year. You know, I mean, we've been taught. We've been shoved with all those products on television. I mean, there's no staying power here. There's no sense of loyalty. And I resent people saying, you owe it to us, you owe this. No. I have to answer to one.
With only his dogs for companionship, Hunter has chosen to live alone near a beach far from Hollywood.
I've come close to getting married a couple of times. I figured it wasn't right for me. Now I'm too old and set in my ways, I guess. But I always say with a horse, if you get any static, you can just turn it out to pasture. You can't very well do that with your wife. I'll be like, I go, listen to him.
I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from Laguna Beach, California.
Fickle or not, the public still pays the entertainment tab, and stars like Mr. Hunter have to face the music. That's showbiz. On Highway 2 North, you may have noticed an exit sign for the town of Bicycle. Weekend's Bill Hutchings went on the road to investigate.
The sun glowing on the horizon, was like a lighthouse on the prairies, calling the pioneers to a land of rich opportunity. Just northeast of Calgary, in the heart of wheat country, blossomed the community of Bicyger. Bicyger was named after Thomas L. Bicyger, who was a banker from North Dakota. He lived in the area for about 10 years and influenced a number of Americans to come north to Alberta around the year 1910. Shortly after their arrival in the year 1915, Alberta experienced a heavy spring rain and a bumper crop that averaged a phenomenal 31 bushels per acre, proof that this was the land of milk and honey. Today, Bicyger still boasts rich wheat lands. In fact, a few years ago, one Bicyger crop placed first in the Toronto Winter Fair. While uptown Bicyger has changed with the time, a friendly Western welcome still awaits you in this prairie town of 625 folks.
Hi, I'm Mike Otterson from the village of Bicyger Weekend. We'll be back in a moment.
What radio station do you wake up to every day? And who's your favorite AM radio morning personality? And how do these people manage to greet the microphone and the city with a cheerful grin long before the sun is up? Well, Weekend decided to unveil the faces behind the voices. So here they are, Calgary's AM radio early birds.
Air supply.
There are 5 AM radio stations in the city of Calgary. The current rating service, BBM, or Bureau of Broadcast Measurement, indicates a total listening audience of 204,000 people of all ages are tuned in to their favorite station. The mornings are considered the prime time of radio, and 7 a.m. is the peak listening time. So let's meet them. CKXL's Norm Edwards with 64,200 listeners.
Good morning, 7:32 with Norm Edwards on 1140 XL Radio. This time I'm taking somebody with me. No. You go alone, will you? No. Ron Wood will take you for a walk.
Ned Corrigal, CFAC, 62,300 listening.
It's 28 past 6 o'clock, still plus 134 degrees, and these are the Pridesmen. Now, that'll take us right up to news.
CFCN's Charlie West with 26,600 tuning in.
Christian, singing a song I usually do to my loans manager. I want you, I need you. Please make the rates fall a little bit, please. 8:27 at CFCN Radio. Gotta run. Gord's next, the talk of the town.
The Eye Opener with Liz Palmer and Wayne Collins, 21,800 listeners.
Good morning, Calgary. Thank you very much for choosing to begin your Wednesday, the 11th of November, with the sound of the Calgary Eye Opener. My name's Wayne Collins.
Good morning. I'm Liz Palmer. To kick off this hour, we're going to talk to a 77-year-old marathon runner who lives and runs every day here in Calgary.
Vic Dubois, CHQR, 27,900 tuned.
From 1967 and come back when you grow up, girl. Good morning. I'm Vic Dubois, 824 from Radio 810. CHQR, still minus 21 degrees.
Radio announcers are interesting personalities. They become part of our lives every morning, a steady routine when waking up and getting set for the day, driving to work, going to school. But how do they stay in touch? What time do they start each day?
Well, 4:30. 4:30? 4:30, 4:45. Yeah.
On the air at?
6:15. Don't tell the other guys that. Don't tell any of the other guys that, and don't tell the boss that.
Our gun's gone off at 4:30 in the morning, and we're off to the races right then.
3:45 is when the alarm goes. I have to be here by 5, so I got to give myself that extra hour or so.
The job of the AM morning person depends almost entirely on the personality. For the most part, the work is fun. There are those who choose their own music, and others depend on music librarians.
I don't pick the music. I'm no expert on any particular type of music. I like a little bit of everything. But I'm certainly no expert, so the music is picked for me. The rest, it's pretty well use your head, you know. Yeah, I just carry on and enjoy myself, really.
Within the parameters of the music that is available in our library, yes, I have control, total control.
Cartridge tapes, telephone interviews, news packages, and funny features are all part of the morning show. But how does a morning person put it all together?
All the freedom I want. All the formats out the window. It's just, you know, there's no such thing as a format on this show. That's the entertainment thing. You know, if you're too restricted with this has to run here and that has to run there and so on and so forth, you know, it takes away the freedom of it.
Yet the Calgary Eye Opener is more a team effort, mostly due to the volume of information and current affairs.
Everyone, I think, is heard, everyone is listened to seriously, carefully. But at the same time, we've got a good thick-skinned crew this time round, and that's very important.
It's a lot more difficult to write for this business than I ever imagined it would be, and I find that difficult sometimes, especially if I'm tired and I don't.
But no matter what the morning game may be, there's always a chance to brighten up someone's life.
Well, I think mostly you just keep on doing the job that you can do, the one that's been successful. I can't see continually changing format or changing style or something like that. Just try to be consistent.
This is much fun. There's nothing I would rather do. I would do this for nothing. I don't want this on television. I don't want that last statement on television. It's as much fun. I've never had more fun in my life. It's like a hobby with a paycheck. You know, that's the way I look at it. And I think it's fun.
Hopefully I can give them something in the way of humor and information and topical things that they hear that they're going to stick with me. That's what I try to do.
You have to put 100% of yourself in research, preparation, and everything else. It's what you do for a living. And they pay you money to actually sit here and do this, which sometimes astounds me because I love this.
We try to give the best of ourselves, and I think that comes across through the microphone, into the radio, into their ears. They know that we're here and we're trying very hard to do the best we can. And as long as they know that, and they know that they're going to get an honest effort day in and day out, then I think that's what's going to hold them.
To play Dolly Parton.
So I just played the commercial.
The AM morning people put Calgary on their feet every day, 5 days a week.
You don't pick stuff out of the news and see what's going on kind of thing. So I think it's a matter of really paying close attention to the news, because that way you stay up on what's going on around Calgary, you know what I mean? Because is there a hair up there? Because the news, are you guys done with the news? Yeah, it's very important, I think. The news is very important. As always, most people want to hear the news, and they also like to know that the morning man that's doing the show is paying close attention to the news, so to speak, as it were, and all that. Are they finished yet? Is the news still on?
If he gets up at 4:30, doesn't he have time to shave at home? I think they're all a little mad, but then it probably helps in that business. All of those announcers are staying up very late just to watch this program. So be forgiving if your morning person is a little tired tomorrow. Coming up on next week's edition of Weekend, James Barber cooks the letter J. Doug Llewellyn scoops Hollywood with Mike Farrell from the program MASH. Bill Hutchings visits High River, and Dr. Challis talks body talk. And we also discover some very beautiful stained glass created by Carl Lengauer. That wraps up this weekend show. Join us again for more information and entertainment. I'm Marie Hohtanz. Have a good week.